Speaker.
I call Todd Barclay.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I support this bill.
It's a very...
David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. An excellent speech, sir. An excellent speech. Sir, this is a tax. We know it's a tax. They might pronounce it levy, but it's spelt T-A-X. Tax. That's what it is. That's what the Oxford Dictionary says it is, and that's what it really is. And why don't they just front up and admit it? And the reason they don't want to front up and admit it, because at the last election they promised not to put up taxes. They also promised to get us back into surplus. And the whole murky sort of tangle of web is all around this. This is about trying to narrow down the deficit by putting through these sneaky taxes, cutting our KiwiSaver kickstart. Those are the issues that we see so transparently in order to be able to try and get us back into surplus. No new taxes, they said. This is a tax. And why is it that we're sitting here on Saturday night putting through a bill under urgency when there's nothing on the order paper? The order paper's empty. In a few weeks' time, Jerry Brownlee will stand up at the beginning of Parliament and say there's nothing to do today, because there actually isn't very much to do. Why are we sitting here under urgency? The only reason is because we do not want to give New Zealanders the opportunity to sit down and debate this. Why would they want to be coming in front of a select committee? Because they would point out to the government in front of the media day after day after day that this is a tax. It's not a levy, it's a tax. And sir, there's no secret of why this government needs to lift its game when it comes to biosecurity. Not if you live in the electorate that I live in, that is now currently infested with Queensland fruit fly. And maybe some of the money that they raise can be used to compensate the fruit growers and the shopkeepers in my electorate, because they have suffered 50% by most calculations of the supermarkets there in the terms of lost revenue from the sale of fruit and vegetables. They have been infested because this government is taking its eye off biosecurity. There is nothing more important to the economy of this country than biosecurity. And Stephen Browning said it before, and I totally agree with it. He got his numbers a little wrong. 91 staff, frontline staff, were cut in 2009. 91. We stopped X-raying a lot of bags. We cut back on the number of dogs that were checking baggage that were coming into our airports, and the result is that we've had 2 outbreaks of Queensland fruit fly, and one of them is still alive and active. And sir, that is a desperate and wanting policy, and that's why this government has to step up and really put some money behind it. But that's not the end of the problem, sir. That's not the end of the problem. The other part of it, which is my colleague Rino Tirakatni pointed out, is the JBMS. And that is a shocker, sir. The JBMS, the Joint Border Management System, is supposed to revolutionise everything coming into New Zealand. Well, it's failed. And in 2010, it was on the books at costing $75 million. In 2013, it had jumped to $90 million. In 2014, it's up to $104 million, and it's still not doing what IBM, who was the main contractor, said it was going to be able to do. And I'd like to ask Nikki Wagner, when she has a chance later on in the committee stages, stand up and say, no, we are definitely not taking IBM to court. We are not taking IBM to court, because there's a very big rumour around town that IBM is in the gun and they're going to be taken to court. This smells and tastes like NovaPay, and that's another reason why this government has to bring out another tax to try and cover the books. This is a disgrace. The biosecurity has let in more pests in the last 2 years than any other time in our history, and JBMS and the customs system is falling over and costing this country millions. Sir, this is a tax, a tax, a tax, and let's not forget it. Thank you, sir.
I call Barbara